I'm ready.
She ready.
Listo.
Ready. I didn't do that. You ready?
In 5, 4, 3.
The most powerful storm on record hits the Philippines. Where will Typhoon Haiyan strike next?
And the East Coast elections are in the books. Find out which states made history this week.
Next, an anticipated mural is still searching for a permanent home. Is City College still an option?
And a flash mob breaks out in the operating room. Why this patient put her dancing shoes on moments before surgery. Newscene starts right now. Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newscene. I'm Dallas Richter.
And I'm Adam Andrews. Thank you for joining us. The strongest typhoon to date hit the Philippines earlier this morning. Nate Holmes has the latest details. Nate?
Thank you, Adam. Dallas. That is right. Typhoon Haiyan is being called the largest typhoon ever to be recorded. Now, as of right now, 4 deaths are being confirmed, and as of right now, at least 7 others are injured. The typhoon has devastated most of the Philippine islands. The landfall hit early this morning with winds up to 195 miles per hour. Storm clouds stretched over 11,000 miles. Now that's equal to the distance between Florida and Canada. And local authorities say 125,000 people took refuge in evacuation centers, and over 1 million people have been forced to flee their homes. The Philippine Red Cross states that 90% of the infrastructure is heavily damaged, and the full extent will not be known until they can reach the affected areas. Now, crews are on standby waiting for daylight to break to begin relief efforts, and the typhoon is quickly moving westward and will soon be over the China Sea, heading for the east coast of the Vietnam. So Adam and Dallas, like I said, the typhoon is heading west, and hopefully it will not struck China as bad as it did the Philippines.
Yes, we'll be continuing to follow the story as more information comes in. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Back here at home, a local high school student is in custody following threats she allegedly made to classmates. Joshua Lipton is here with the latest. Josh?
Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Adam. Yes, Poway High School is the latest school to make news regarding violent threats by a student. Thankfully, however, a student came forward before it got out of hand.
A 17-year-old female student was arrested from Poway High School this Tuesday. The Poway High School staff was notified about an altercation between 2 female students where one had physically threatened the other. The Poway Sheriff's Department responded immediately to the high school to investigate the incident.
The 5th of this month, a couple days ago, we received a call from the Poway School District stating that a student had made threats to another particular student and some others. So we sent our school resource deputy out to the school. He investigated what was going on and made an arrest of a 17-year-old female. She was arrested for making criminal threats.
The incident occurred Tuesday here at Poway High School, leaving many parents concerned and wondering why they are just finding out about it 2 days later here on Thursday. One parent I spoke to who did not want to be on camera says the school is usually very prompt about sending out emails regarding threats to students and threats to the school. She is concerned, however, as to why she is learning about this one 2 days later.
As parents lined up to pick up their children on Thursday, it was very clear that the details of the story were limited and still unclear to students as well.
What a lot of kids are saying is that somebody made a threat against the school, but that's all we really know right now.
This is not the first incident like this to happen at Poway High.
2 years ago during the PSAT, a threat was made against the school and then they had a lockdown.
School officials maintain that the situation was under control and at no time were students in harm's way.
The suspect was arrested and then taken to a nearby hospital. Authorities cannot release her name because she is a minor, and the Poway Unified School District claims the delay in informing parents was due to unknown circumstances regarding the suspect. Now, these unknown circumstances are still up for debate. I will keep you updated as more details keep coming in from this.
Thanks for that, Josh.
No problem. Thank you, Dallas.
Well, election results on the East Coast led to historic turnouts in Virginia and New York City this week. For the first time since 1977, Virginia has elected a Democrat as governor. Democrat Terry McAuliffe beat out Republican Ken Cuccinelli. Virginia, which is a pivotal swing state, has gained interest in both Republican and Democratic parties. New York City mayoral candidate Bill de Blasio won by a commanding lead over Republican Joe Lhota. The newly elected mayor aims to tackle inequality between the rich and the poor.
The state of Illinois passed a bill earlier this week that attracted a lot of national attention. The Illinois General Assembly passed same-sex marriage, putting the land of Lincoln on the course to become the 15th state to legalize gay marriage. A celebration was held Tuesday night at the governor's mansion. Same-sex marriage advocates called the House vote the biggest victory to date for the Illinois gay rights movement. As written, the bill needed just 60 votes instead of the supermajority of 71, with a lower number of votes required. 14 states plus Washington, D.C. allow same-sex marriage. Most recently, New Jersey, Minnesota, and Rhode Island have legalized it. The law will go into effect June 1st, 2014. Get ready to vote, San Diegans. November 19th is the date to vote for your next mayor. According to polling, the top 4 mayoral candidates are Councilman David Alvarez and Kevin Faulkner, former City Attorney Mike Aguirre, and ex-Assemblyman Nathan Fletcher. And if you are voting by mail, the deadline for applying for mail ballots is November 12th.
An investigation has unveiled that former Palestinian President Yasser Arafat may have been poisoned. The investigation revealed the former leader had 18 times the normal amount of polonium in his body at the time of his death. Arafat's initial medical records stated that he died in 2004 from complications of a blood clot that led to a stroke. A 2012 investigation, however, revealed he was killed from a rare radioactive substance found in many of his personal belongings. The second investigation occurred after it was requested by Arafat's wife.
Sweetie, a 10-year-old computer-generated girl, has served as bait to catch 20,000 pedophiles around the world in only 10 weeks. A group of activists against child sex exploitation from the Netherlands run an online sting operation. They logged into a public chat rooms under the alias of Sweetie to lure users who tried to watch the Filipino girl to perform indecent acts via a webcam. More than 250 adults identified are from the United States, followed by a Britain with 110.
Well, poverty rates across the country are at an all-time high. A new study from the U.S. Census used a more comprehensive method to identify Americans living below the poverty line. The formula takes into account the state differences such as living expenses, out-of-pocket medical costs, and government aid, which includes food stamps and tax credits. Using the alternative method, the actual number went from 47 million up to 50 million. California was identified as the state with the highest poverty numbers.
A national coffee chain aims to help U.S. veterans. We'll tell you how they are helping here in San Diego.
Plus, dolphins are accustomed to cool ocean waters, but the Miami Dolphins are boiling in turmoil this week.